Hi friends, it's Jenny and it's that time again. I have my John Bead Curiosities box. This was the number 17 Mistletoe Magic and I just got it. I have avoided watching the official unboxing over on Baby Squirrel Beading. I'm sure Emma did a fantastic job with it. In fact, I misspoke last time. I said that she had helped with the Marie Antoinette box. She hadn't. She had been there when she was packing it, so she saw some of what was going in. She had a little bit of a sneak peek. I believe this is the box that she actually helped with. So if you haven't watched the official unboxing, go ahead and check that out. There's probably some extra little snippets and tidbits in there for you. So this is Mistletoe Magic. Here's a little image for it. See, I haven't even cut it open yet. The official unboxing happened a while ago, so I'm not too worried about spoilers, but I'm going to go ahead and cut into this. The John Bead Curiosities box is a vintage monthly box. They have been around since 1954, and so they have been digging into their, it's taped along the sides too. They've been digging into their old supplies of beads and making these collections, and this is number 17. Because these are vintage beads, subscriptions are limited. I did check before filming this video. The subscriptions are currently sold out. So there's going to be a link in the description. The same link that I'm going to have in the description, you can check the current status of subscriptions, see what the new box is. They announce that on the 28th of each month. And you can also, at that point, pre-order if it's available. Currently, the next box, number 18, Aurora Borealis, is sold out for pre-order. If you have a subscription, you're getting it. And this box actually shows available. That's also where you can check to see if there's any stock of previous boxes available. Most are sold out, but this one does currently show available to buy. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Now on our channel, Becky and I like to do organizing videos. I love to organize, and I've had a lot of fun with the John Bead box because I often have a lot of fun bead sorting I get to do as I organize it into my containers. I also discovered the first one that I did, I always use one of my 18 grid organizers. Let me zoom out just a little bit so you can see a little bit bigger, the better the size of these things. This is an 18 grid organizer. It has deeper wells. This is our usual 15 grid organizer. You can see it's smaller and it's not as deep. The first box that I did had a whole bunch of great check glass in it and smaller sized and smaller beads. So this 28 pop top organizer is what I used. So I used the 18 and this for the Creep It Real box. And then last month I used this and this for Marie Antoinette. So which boxes I use is going to be completely dependent on what is inside this box, because what I've discovered so far is that this is the only thing I know I'll need, and this is for the larger size beads or larger quantity beads. This is like the main box, and then I have an extra smaller box that helps me fit everything else. Well, as much of everything else as I can. I can't ever fit everything because they usually put in some other great things. So let's get this opened. And I'm going to go ahead and come back into a normal range because we're going to be, I'll be showing you a lot of things on my dish and getting close to what's in here. So here is the Mistletoe Magic box. Mistletoe Magic, and we've got all kinds of fun things in here. Fun little bow, like opening a present. Is this a kit? It is a kit. So this is like a little Christmas gift. Stitch Part 1 of Johnson Solids. This is cool. It's a full kit. Guys, it's a full kit. That is really cool. I'm not sure if I can use the findings. I'll have to nickel test those. But it's got seed beads and beading thread, and the instructions. Looks like it's even got a needle. They gave us a Miyuki John Bead beading kit, designer eardrops in orange turquoise mix. Not a big fan of orange, but this is the kit. So that's a fun little gift that they added in. I'm assuming what's under the tissue paper is the contents of the box. The holidays are here, and so is our 2025 Curiosities box, Mistletoe Magic. This year, we've filled it with the enchanting colors of the season, sparkling purples, icy blues, glistening whites, and hints of the familiar reds and greens you know and love. I love that it's not just reds and greens. That is making me really excited. Each bead, in fact, the picture made me wonder. I like that picture. It includes a lot of different colors. Each bead has been carefully selected to inspire wonder, creativity, and the joys of the holiday. To make this collection truly special, we invited Emma DeVost, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it correctly, Emma, I'm sorry, a baby squirrel beading on YouTube to curate the box. So this is her curated box. I thought so. Her signature eye for playful elegance and intricate detail brings a festive sparkle to every strand and mix. There's something extraordinary about a handmade piece of jewelry. Each bracelet, necklace, or charm carries thought, care, and a little bit of the maker's heart. Whether it's a gift for a loved one or a creation just for you, crafting something by hand adds warmth and meaning that lasts long after the holidays. With mistletoe magic, you can create ornaments, keepsakes, and treasures that shine with the spirit of the season. This limited edition box is a holiday treasure. Reserve yours today and make this season unforgettable. A little Emma DeVost. Baby squirrel beading. Love it. How fun is this? Okay, I'm going to pull away the tissue paper so we can see this is a very full box full of all kinds of fun goodies, including a box full of charms. Some of these charms I recognize as having got elsewhere. These might be the sweet and petite, and that might be why the ones I've got I can use. But I'll just check these charms to make sure that I can use them because I do have the metal allergy. This has got some interesting things. And then several bead mixes and tubes and, oh, a bead strand. A very fun, playful bead strand. There's so much fun in this box. I'm looking at these bead mixes and I'm thinking we're going to be doing the 18 and 28 for this one. I might change my mind, but we'll see. All kinds of beads. I'm setting them off to the side as I pull them out. Oh no, something lights up. Guys. Do you see that? I just picked it up and it's like, hey, party time. I love that. I think it's just the one, but how fun is that? Oh, how fun, how fun. Okay, we're gonna have some fun with that. And then these bead mixes. Here's some cotton wax cord, some other metal complex items. Sometimes these will identify if they're nickel-free or not. This one doesn't, but it does have a little, there's sliders for leather. And then twisted beading needles that have a collapsible eye, so easier to string. Oh, and how pretty. Some really pretty little bicones in tubes. Okay. Let's get the box out of the way. And I need to decide what I'm going to start with. Like, some of this stuff isn't even going to fit in the 18 grit organizer. I have no idea. Let's go with the bigger beads first. These are really similar to, we had some green ones in the last box. These ones are purple and a darker purple, kind of a checkerboard pattern that's stretched out across it. These are some bigger beads. Okay, so we do have a lot of small bead options, also some bigger bead options. We're going to start with the bigger ones and get them in our main organizer, because there's not a list. We don't really start with one and continue on. There's a lot of fun things. Put little labels on some of them to give you more of that feel. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags of bead mixes, a couple of boxes, a tube. Yeah, we're gonna have a lot to get into with this. Okay. First things first, let's take a look at our charms and see what we've got here. Got a couple, looks like we've got at least 2 of each charm. We've got snowmen and double bells, or Santa moons. I said snowmen. My brain was like, that's not right. My mouth just kept going. Do you ever have that happen? These pretty little wreaths. And then we've got these Christmas trees and snowflakes. And then we've got these little reindeer with the cute little red nose. These are the ones I've seen elsewhere. And I know that the other ones I had were ones that I could use. And the backs all look the same. Like this I think is the Sweet and Petite. It doesn't say the label, but if it is the Sweet and Petite, all of theirs are nickel free. We contacted them and asked when we came across it another time, but we've got our little cats in Christmas hats. And then we've got some candy canes and some Santas. Oh, there are snowmen in here. I just was too early. There's a snowman with Santa, and there's one more of each of those. So there's 2 of each of these charms, which is really fun because you can totally just do earrings. You can make a couple of charm bracelets. You can do some fun things with that. So I'm going to keep this in its little box. No reason to recreate the wheel. And get this guy open. And we're going to start looking at some of these other larger size beads that won't fit as easily in the 28. I do think that's what I'm doing this time. All right, I'm going to go ahead and snip this open and putting them there because they're chunky boys. They won't all fit. Pretty close. I can make 8 of them fit in one well. But I think I'm going to spread that out and just give them a little bit more room and let them take 2. That's what I'm feeling. Just because I think I can't put another 4 and be able to close it. So we'll just put this guy down. That's one of the reasons why I like this organizer, is that it does have those fully adjustable sections. You can just take down the walls and be able to use it. In fact, we might use it for some of our larger items that wouldn't normally fit. I think we can make them fit in a different section. Hold on. Just trying to get this last bead off. Come on. I keep almost getting, it's cinched really close, so the flush cutter's not actually getting through that other layer. Come on. I can almost, like, I've worn it thin, but there we go. I just pulled it, guys. I just pulled it. Okay, so there might be some more guys that go in there. This is something that I'll need to check. I think this mesh here is metal. This feels more like acrylic, not an actual metal setting. It's not heavy enough to be all metal, but you could do something really fun with this. It's a link. You can use it as a very, oh, that's an ornate bracelet. You can do that, or you could attach a hook to the top and dangle something from the bottom and have a very beautiful ornament. That's another idea. I'm going to see if I can fold it up and put it in here. Not quite. Not quite. It doesn't want to lay down. I wonder how it does in that's a little bit better. Okay, we're going to do that, and there's going to be some more things that sit in with it, and that's cool. Let's open this little box. So this has some fun findings. Again, I'll probably need to do nickel testing. That's the one thing about getting vintage items, is that not everything is labeled. Even current items often aren't labeled, but there's this really sparkly, is it a cab? I see a hole. You don't see it from the front, but I do see a hole on the back right here. So you can string this or use it as a cab. Look at how sparkly that is, though. Like, for real, guys, that's so freaking sparkly. I love how sparkly this is. That's going to hang out here with the sparkly other bits. Yeah. that's definitely, so that's one I don't need to test. These ones I would. Looks like we've got a couple of box clasps, 2 different kinds, and there's 2 of each. This one is a little bit harder to work than the box clasp I recently made into a bracelet. I will need to, again, we'll test this to see if it has nickel so I can find out if I can use it. But there are these guys. You can see that kind of textured pattern on that gold. And then this one is, here's the lever. And it is also a box clasp. Definitely more snug. The kind that I would need help with this one because it doesn't release as smoothly. But it is really pretty. And there are also 2 of this box clasp with the rhinestones and the little pearl. So I'm going to set these here, actually on this other side. This is going to be kind of a, I need to test this section. In fact, I should probably move this other one for the same reason. And then we've got these hoops that you can stitch on. And then there's a hole for attaching a dangle and a hole for attaching an ear wire. So that's cool. Those are some fun findings. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, they're gonna hang out in here in the hey, check this section. Well, I see if I can use them or not. And then this one, like I said, I think that this mesh at the back is a metal mesh, and so that will definitely need to be tested. So I'm gonna just move it, and so I'm gonna move this down over here and just change where I'm putting it. And then this one is still gonna hang out in the same spot, even though it obviously doesn't need to be tested. Okay, then we've got, let's do our bead strand. Those are our next biggest beads, I think. This is a really cute, in fact, it says it's super cute. It's a bead strand, it says super cute. Super cute acrylic bead, candy and round polka dot. And I love it. There's no metal at all in this, so I know I can use all of this, no problem. I'm gonna put all of these fun acrylic beads together here. I'll go ahead and put their bicones in with them because I'm not likely to find exact matches to those later. So we've got that bead strand has now been pulled apart and put in a well where I can see this fun candy. If you didn't know already, I decorate my Christmas tree in candies. I call it confections because it's gone beyond gumdrops to also including like macarons and donuts and boxes of chocolate and sponge cakes that are actually made of sponge. So you can squish, squish, squish. It's fantastic. Anyway, love that. Love that, love that. Oh, and these guys. Oh, I didn't see that. I saw the backs of them. Let me show you these a little bit closer. I went in and took them out of the package. We're going to put them in the little tester section anyway. But these little sliders are set with CZ. Look at that. Those are very fun. There's a lot of fun sparkle in this box, and I am enjoying that so very much. Let's open this one next. I'm so excited. I am so happy. So they usually have like a sticker and a card and a pin. I actually haven't found the sticker. I mean, there's a sticker on the box, but usually there's like a separate little sticker too. I actually haven't found the sticker. We'll find that eventually, but here's the little pin with this month's image, the Mistletoe Magic. But this sweet little thing, oh my gosh, okay, we're gonna get into all of these because they're fantastic. So this is the one that lights up. You can see it does have that mechanism inside it. This one is all about the flash. It says Merry Christmas with a little Rudolph against like package stuff and a snowflake on the back. And it lights up. Oh my gosh, that is so adorable and fun. We're putting that here in kind of like a little special area. And while that's calming down, I've got these. Okay, so this is not a bead. This looks like it's a cab. It's very slightly flattened on one side. And Looks like it's got little bits of shell in it. Look at that. It's really pretty. I don't know what those are, but those are cool. And then we have this. Oh, here's another one. This one is pink. This one is pink. And it does also have those little like chips of shell set in this, I think it's acrylic on the outside, but it's got shell inside. So those are really cool. I'm not quite sure how to use those. But then we have these little ornament charms. And I think it's probably a random assortment, friends. I've got one that is like all the super gold stuff. And then I've got one that's super bright. Let's try to get this to focus. Super bright little, it's like Christmas confetti in them. And then this one is more white with kind of like an iridescence, like an AB kind of thing going on. These two are the same. I think this is the only pair that I have. They're similar to what I just showed you, but they've got yellow in it too. And there's two of those. And then this one is more like AB with like pinks. How delightful are these? These are super fun. I am wanting to make some ornaments. It is coming down to close to Christmas. I'll probably still make a little bit of holiday jewelry, but I think I've made most of the holiday jewelry that I want to make. And I'm going to put this one somewhere else because I can't fit all of these in the same place and I want to. Okay, so those all fit here. And this one, we'll figure out where he ends up. I'm going to put him there for now. But I am wanting to make some ornaments. I'm itching to do that because that's something I can make now and give as gifts or hang on my tree. And so my brain is already starting to transition to ornaments, and I haven't really done that this year. So let's get into some bead mixes. I'm going to do this bead mix next. It does have a lot of different smaller beads that will probably end up in the other container, but it does have these larger snowflake ones. Oh, I've got a split side. That's why I keep losing beads from this one. Never mind. We're going to do the blue bag first just because it's trying to split open. It's got a little poke on the side. So as I go through these bead mixes, some of these selections I'm going to go ahead and put in this box. Other ones I'll be scooting to the edges of my mat because I expect that they'll fit better in other parts of my storage. That's one of the things that I do. If there's enough of a given smaller bead, like these gold lined faceted guys, there's actually quite a bit of those, then I probably won't hang on to them, even though their size would fit just fine in the other. There's enough that they would take several sections, and they may actually fill up one of these wells because there's quite a few of them. Or I might put them in here and then roommate them with something else. Like these, they're so pretty, guys. I love these. These are glass, gold lined, faceted, and again, super sparkly. I'm loving a lot of the sparkle that we're seeing here. And I'm going to try to put them in this section over here and see how they fill that up. If they do a pretty good job filling it up, then they might just have a few roommates on top. Or, hey, I have an idea. Let's get our flashy guy in there and then fill these beads around him. So now that fits. And that's going to fit better because he's too big. I wouldn't be able to close the lid over in the other section. He fit, but not quite. Okay. And then from this same bead mix, we've got these. They're kind of a swirled nugget shape. And they're kind of a milky white with mostly looks like dark, very dark green. You can see where it's come through and you can see a little bit of it being a lighter tone, but I think at first I was going to say that was black in the middle, but I don't think it is. I think that's actually just a very dark green swirled in there. It reminds me of like icy forests, like a frozen lake, a frozen forest lake. So those are really cool. I'm gonna put them here. And then we've got these ones that are a little bit more like sharp edges, but again, kind of a nugget shape. It's like opaque and translucent swirled white. And since there's 5 of those and they kind of fit that same kind of organic icy lake, I'm going to put them all in there together. Then we've got these guys. We've got 6 of the kind of turquoise color and 6 of the capri blue. I like those a lot. These guys are way too chunky to fit comfortably in the other boxes. Oh, I love these. Okay, let me grab a bit of wire. I'm gonna use a bit of wire sometimes to show you how the holes go. So this is like a triangle tab bead. It hangs like a pennant. Whoop, catching the beads. Let me put a couple of them on here. It is top drilled side to side, and it hangs like bunting. Like bunting. That's the word that I was trying to think of. Here they go. They hang like this. And I'm going to hold it up a little bit so you can see the color a little bit better. Against the dish, it was just kind of getting too dark. And it is that bright capri blue on the back. So this is the AB side and then bright capri blue. But they are top drilled side to side. So it's more like a tab. So those are really pretty. I'm going to set them aside because I suspect I'm going to put them in one of the other containers. And that's totally fine. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and get into this one. I know I was going to do that other one with the snowflakes, but that's okay. We're going to do this one because this one has a nice mix of things I'm going to be wanting to put in both containers. So this has these kind of disco ball ones. They're kind of a clear green blue swirl, but very, very pale and super faceted. Little disco ball dudes. Those are fun and icy. I'm going to put them in with these guys because they'll fit pretty well. Maybe. That might require adjustment because they wouldn't fit in here. There wasn't quite enough room for that. Maybe they'll just be in both. Do a little bit in both because this is kind of my whole icy section. And that's okay. They can spread across. They can spread across. And then we've got a whole bunch of these. These are 1-hole rectangles. And they are a kind of a periwinkle blue with AB on one side. Get the beading wire through here. So here's the clear side. Here's the AB. I don't know if they'll show better on the little bit. So 1 up, 1 down right now for those 2 different colors. Well, it's the same color. But we actually do have quite a bit of those. Let's see. This is the bead sorting part. I love bead sort. I love to bead sort. And I know some of my friends love that too. And so you're not going to mind. In case you haven't watched me do a John bead organization video, these are my longest organization videos by far. There's so many bead mixes, so many beads actually, that it just takes me, it takes me a little bit to get through it and get it all organized, but it's really satisfying to have it all done and ready to go. Where I can just look at all of the beads and see exactly what I've got. That's why we do organization videos, is because we want to be able to see all the beads. Man, that is actually a lot of beads. Where'd that bead scoop go? I think this is enough that I'm not going to try to save it to put it in the 28 grid. I think I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them here. I thought I had one that dropped in the other. This is a lot. See, that almost fills up that well. There is a little bit of room at the top, and that's okay. We might add some other things in. These guys are, oh, that one has something attached to it. Little eye pin had been added to that one. These ones feel acrylic, and they're kind of scuffed up. They're kind of scuffed up, so it definitely has more of that vintage feel, but not like a super clean, shiny, fresh out of the box kind of bead. And then we've got these ones. Trying to get stuff sorted. Had a couple of threads from that bag that was unraveling. Moved them out of the way. So these ones are kind of I would say that they're white, but they're not. They're very pale blue with crystal swirl. And those are really pretty. I like those actually quite a bit. I'm going to set them off to the side. They may end up in the other container. I'm still working on this one. Oh, and I didn't show you these yet. So these are like a pale yellow with like a blue, they're blue lined. Let me get that beading wire back over here. I just had it. It's like I swapped my beading wire for the bead scoop. It's hard to see because when I put them on the dish, they all try to lie with their holes up, but you can't really see what I'm showing you as far as like this is. Holding it above is better. There we go. You can see that it's kind of a very pale yellow, but then it's lined in that blue. So mostly what you see is the blue, but it glows is what those are doing. You can see that a little bit over there. Okay. Let's go for these because I want to get the larger beads out of here, and it looks like we have some of the same beads possibly. These really pale ones that I thought were white swirled with crystal. If these are white, then they're different. If they are also that really pale blue, we might have a little bit more to add to that pile. So opening up this box, got our fun little Santa greeting us. Hello. And pouring out the beads. Ah. Okay, so these guys, these are acrylic snowflakes, kind of a daisy spacer, snowflake spacer. They're have holes in the middle, so depending on how you did them, you may not actually see. These are a white version of that blue bead. I don't actually want to mix them together then, because these ones are definitely reading actually full white and not that pale blue. But these beads are definitely going to go in here because they're absolutely going to fit there better. Let's get these sorted out. And this is a lot of beads, guys. This is a lot of beads right here. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Trying to decide if I want to sort them now or sort them later because I know they're not going in this container. I think I'm going to go for sorting them later. So I'm going to take them and I'm going to scoot them towards the back of my mat. I don't want them falling off the back of my desk, but towards the back of my mat is fine. I'm going to sort them when we get to the smaller bead section. Okay. All right. We do actually have a lot of smaller beads in this. So some of this is going to need to come in here anyway. Let's do these pink strands because I think I'm going to be putting the pink strands in here. I think that sounds good. So these are a collection of glass beads and pearl strands for your jewelry DIY projects. They're 5 6-inch strands, and let me get them untwisted. If I leave them on the strand, they're easier to manage in the larger box. I love that there's pink. I mentioned my Christmas tree. It's very confection themed. It started as pastel confections, like pastel colored gumdrops. And so there are a lot of pinks and pale blues and mint green and all of those kinds of things on my tree. So if I'm thinking about making ornaments, I'm absolutely thinking along these lines. I do, however, have some friends who don't like pink at all. So I'm sorry that there's pink in your box, but I'm not sorry that there's pink in my box. All right. I was gonna see if I could separate these strands, but I think they're all tied together, and if I untie them, then all the beads will come loose. That's what I'm getting from this. So one of the things I can do is I can take out a section and I can just set them in there. I'm gonna do that for now. Yeah, because I will get to these and I will use them, but this way they're in a manageable section. So I'm looking at what I have on my mat right now, what's in the remaining bead mixes. Lots of beads in the remaining bead mixes. I am leaning towards going ahead and putting in, I am gonna, nope, do this next. That has some metals that we need to check. So that'll go in the to check section. But it also has some fun kind of, this is where like the light purple and stuff that they mentioned. So there's this. This is like a full-on necklace and bracelet of like, this is just finished jewelry, guys. This is finished jewelry. You could probably dress up some of this if you had a pendant or something that you could fit across this. But it's a bracelet and necklace. The necklace has an extender chain. The bracelet does not. I don't know if it would fit me. I don't know if I can wear it. I should probably check it before I go testing it. I won't leave it on for long. I want to get an idea if it'll fit. Oh, it will fit. It will fit me. So these are definitely going to be over here in the, hey husband, will you do the nickel testing on this for me side of things? That's what is going to be here. Okay, lots of sparkle. And then I am going to, no, let's get into this green bag. This green bag also has some of the larger beads while I decide what I want to put somewhere. So I'm actually moving my box out of the way for a minute because my box is starting, my mat is starting to get full. I got so distracted, guys. I didn't show you what was in with that stuff. We've got 5 of these faceted barrel beads with kind of like a vitriol finish. And then we've got these silver lined, they're kind of a orchid colored silver lined, probably a 6-0, or just call them rondelles. They're bigger size. And then we have these. Oh, one of those is broken. Got part of a broken bead. These are some lavender lined, and I dropped one. I did not immediately see where it goes, so I'll find that after. So we've got those, and then we've got 4 of these faceted rounds in the larger size, and then we have some in the smaller size as well. And everything else that's on here I already showed you. So this was the bead mix that came with that silver like they're like double tennis bracelet, double cup chain. Yeah. So some of these mixes may even stay together. It depends on where we are with things. Okay. Going to get this out because it also has a few of the larger beads. Just trying to see what I have so I can decide what to put together in those last few squares in the main box, because otherwise I will run out of room in this box. So we've got these pony beads. They're kind of a pearlized coated, I don't know what I would call this color. It's not white. It is almost a really pale green. I don't know if we would call this eggshell. Maybe we would call this eggshell. But it's very cool toned. It's not like white cream toned, it's white, very cool toned. Like a gray green. And there are a bunch of those, so they're gonna go in one of those wells. Glad I went ahead and got this one out because I suspected that we'd have enough of those to definitely, this would take up way too much space in the smaller sections of the 28 grid organizer. Like we'd have to use a whole bunch of them, but it's going to fit great in this one. It looks like we have some debris in here. There's a little bit of like dusty stuff that's coming out of this mix. It might just be some of the coating from some of these lined beads. I had a seed bead hitching a ride inside one of these. Oh, got that. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. There we are. I think that's all of them. See, that's quite a bit actually. And you can see this is a cream colored mat that I have here that does lean on the warm side, and you can see how that contrasts with it. And yeah, those actually, they almost overflow one of these sections. So they might spill over into one of these lesser used sections just when I go to close it. But yeah, I'm glad that I pulled those out because they do take more space because of their size, and also there's a lot of them. So then we've got these little faceted glass green ones, which I really like. Again, they're of a size that I want to put them in my main container, but they are going to need to roommate with somebody. So I need to figure out that part of it. And then we've got these rounds. There some drugs. Or just round glass. Oh, that's what's, okay, so this one, see the coating is coming off of it. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, the coating is coming off of this one, and I think that's what's flaking inside. So that's less exciting. I might not use these because a lot of them seem to be having that flaking pattern, and getting put in with these other beads knocked them about. I don't think that was intended. So I'm going to set these aside and possibly not put them anywhere just because I don't want that kind of flaky stuff coming off on me if I use them. So I'm just going to set those aside. We have some other cool beads. So we've got these, I think these are cane beads. They're varying lengths, and they're this teal lined glass. Some of them are definitely longer than others. We've got some that are short, some that are long. So you wouldn't want to use these in like a bead weaving design where like uniformity matters, but they could be really fun in something more organic. That one is more broken. A little bit, something that's a little bit more boho. There's quite a few of those actually. So that's all of the teal lined beads. I'm going to take them and put them in here as well. And I think I'm going to take the these green beads that I wanted to put in with something else anyway. I've got the teal lined here. I'm just going to move them forward a little bit and drop some of these green down the back so that we can see both beads sharing that space. But yeah, I like that together. That was a good choice. And then still in the same bead mix, we're still working on it, guys. We've got this one, these are white with like brown and green stripes on them. Put one on the side so you can see. Like this, brown and green stripes. It's very like a tan kind of brown, not a dark brown. putting these aside because they'll go into one of the other sections. We are starting to fill up our main container. I've got 2 completely open wells and room in some of the others should we choose to use them. So I feeling pretty good about that now. A lot of these other ones are definitely going to end up, oh, this is kind of a one-off, slightly wrong colored. This is like turquoise and orange, and these other ones are more of like a mint green in like a golden yellow. So we got one that was a little bit off, set it aside. And then separating these guys. I think I'm going to go ahead and now that I've got enough of this on my mat that is the smaller beads, I'm going to start getting into that container as well. That is something that I did with the Creep It Real box, is I did go back and forth with the containers depending on what I was putting in them. So I think I'm ready to start clearing away some of what I've already sorted, and I need to try to clear away this coating that came off in this section because it's just making my mat look dirty and I don't like that. So well intentioned, but I think that coating did not stand up to being part of a mix. That can happen, especially with vintage beads. So I'm always a little bit forgiving because I know that these are vintage bead selections, and processes in some cases have improved over the years, and you know, also not everything lasts forever like that coating, and that's okay. So I went ahead and got these. I actually didn't show them to you. These are they're kind of an emerald green silver lined seed bead. These look like 6/0s, maybe. Yeah, so those other ones that are even bigger are like 4/0s. Is that even a thing? I don't know. I'm gonna try to use the edge of my bead scoop to clear away some of the coating, and it does actually work quite well for clearing a lot of that away. That already looks much cleaner, doesn't it, friends? Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start scooping some of these other things that we've already kind of found. I love these because they've got these great little pop tops. They're great for fitting small amounts of like seed beads or check glass in them. A lot of what is in here is check glass, and so it fits and it makes sense. And I've got 7 of these sticks of 4. So it's a great way to do that. And then when I want to use one of these bead selections, I just pop open the lid, pour it on my mat, and it's really easy to use and to clean up. I love to use those for check glass. So we're gonna put some of these away in here. And guys, there's still more beads you haven't seen yet. I know it looks like we're just wrapping up and putting things away. We're not. We're not. There is more coming. I just needed to get some of this cleared out of the way so that we can get 2 more beads, including sorting these guys that I moved to the top of my mat. I have not forgotten those. They're next up. These almost fit. Okay, there we go. I got it to close. So this whole stick is already done. I'm gonna set it up here and grab another stick. All right, let's get these ones. I'm gonna wait on these ones and the light blue ones that are with them. You can see when they're next to each other how different they are. That's why I don't actually want to mix them together. But they may end up, in fact, these white ones, I'm gonna go ahead and put in here with my snowflakes because that seems to be right. And then those blue ones are probably gonna go just above. But in the meantime, we've got this pile of beads to deal with. So this is a very festive holiday mix of these lined seed beads. Not all of them are lined. So we've got, let me get a section of this. So we've got red here that is opaque, and then we've got these golden tone silver lined, and then we've got these green silver lined. We might have a few other variations in there, but it's essentially this mix. And I'm going to separate that out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all the red ones and pull them aside, because it's going to be easier once I've removed one color to just split the remaining pile into the two last colors. So, and you can use your bead scoop, especially if you're doing smaller beads. These ones are very comfortable for me to just grab with my fingers, so that's what I'm doing. It honestly depends on the beads, whether or not I use the scoop or not to do the separation. These ones are working just fine, so. Which you guys see more of my hand maybe, so it might be less fun for you, but that's okay. My hands are doing a job. Like, this is enough of a bead mix that it would take up more, if I kept it all together, it would take up more than one of the wells in the 18 grit organizer. It might even take 3. So these ones are definitely gonna need to be broken up. The question is whether or not they are broken up in the 18 grit organizer. If there's enough to do that, then I might need to move some other things around to make room, because that's very possibly what we're gonna do. And in this red, I do see some that have a little bit more of like a gold luster on them. I don't know if you can see that. We've got a little bit of variation. I'm not separating the two versions of opaque red. One is like a gold luster and the other is more of an AB. That's going to be really finicky to try to separate. So I'm not going to do that at the moment. When I'm actually using them, I may do so, depending on the needs of the project. But like they're a mix of AB and gold luster finishes on these. But this is a lot of beads. This is a lot. This was the bead mix that came with the white snowflakes and the behind the Santa placard. That guy. Yeah, that guy. It's that time of the year, that guy. Yeah, there's enough of these. I'm going to take a look at my my box over here and see how I can consolidate. I wish that these purple beads, like the big purple beads that are taking 2 sections, I wish they were a slightly smaller diameter so that they would stack 2 layers deep, and they don't. So maybe I just need to look to see what I can put with those and open up another spot. Okay, so we've got the red pulled out, and then now, because it really is just the 2 colors, I'm going to pull the green up here and the yellow down here. And I'm just going to separate it into these 2 piles. This becomes even easier when you've just got the 2 colors left. And one of the reasons why I'm using the scoop now, because it does speed that along. Looks like we've got a little bit of the same thing going on with the green, that some of them appear to have more of an AB and some of them appear to have more of a luster. I kind of like that, and maybe we'll just keep them all mixed up for that reason, that we get different glimpses of it. The ones with the AB look a little bit more blue, the blue side of green, and the ones with the luster look more golden, obviously, because they're like a gold luster. But they look like they're the same core bead. It's just the finish on them that makes them look different. I have some ideas on how I'm going to move some things in my box. I do think that this mix is going to be what's going to finish up our big box. We'll keep it open in case there's some other larger beads that just need to room me in with things we've already put in. But I think that just because of the sheer volume of these beads, they're going to be better off in the larger box, so they don't take an inordinate amount of room. little bit of a pile commingling going on. But I do think they need to have the bigger spaces. And there's a bunch of them. I need to figure out what I want to do with them. There's always more beads in the John Bead Curiosities box than I can possibly use in a month with the way I currently create. I don't create to sell. I create here for the channel and for my own personal use. So a lot of this goes into stash building. It's a great way to get like a stash that's not just the same as what everybody has, because it has so many vintage beads in it. So that's a benefit to having this. It's a great way to do that, because it's $50 a month, $49.95, I think. 95 or 99, 4 cents difference, I don't remember. And it is it ships, and that includes the shipping. That includes shipping. So you should take a look at that if that's in your budget. You get a lot of beads for the money. Sometimes they're older beads and maybe not as high a quality, but I've had a lot of really fun things that I've gotten with this so far, and I am enjoying it. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that I can take my bead strand that I had in its own little box, and I can nestle it in here with my pink beads, because honestly I'm probably going to use these things together because of the way I like to do my Christmas tree. So if these beads are in here with my swirl of pink, those are the little bits that came with it, then I'll have room. They're not all together in one place. Like I would like to have them all together. I'm going to pause for just a second because you don't need to see me moving the beads. I'm going to move these over here and this over here so that I've got these 3 across the top that I can do these other beads. Right back. Okay, a quick little transfer of beads, and I'm now ready to put these seed beads into these top 3 wells. I'll try to move this over so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to work from the right, I think, because it's easier for me to work from the bottom of my pile. So I'm going to put the red ones closer to these guys. But just getting these scooped up and put in. You can see they're kind of an amber tone. Ta-da! These guys. See, they take up almost a whole well all on their own. I think that was what I needed to do. I think that's what I needed to do. Because they would have taken up like whole rows on their own in the other container. And I still have other beads that need to fit in that one. Get my tweezers. I got one in there with the pony beads. There's the green, and then we've got the red here. This is looking pretty good, guys. Lots of fun beads to play with. And here's where I was talking about how it has the different coatings on it. Yeah. And we go. Okay, so this box is mostly done. I'm going to leave it open off to the side, and we're going to keep working on filling up this guy. And we do still have some other bead mixes to get into. I may leave some of these things, like there's this pack that came in small tubes. I might leave them in the tubes. We will see. We will see. But I got a little bit more of that debris from those guys. I think I'm just not going to keep those. And that's okay. You don't have to love everything in a box. I have plenty to work with here. Okay. And these guys, as I suspected, don't fit by themselves in one container. But I think I can get, oh, maybe. I think I can get them in two. There we go. That one wants to pop open. Let's see, move one over. Nope. Oh, that's a little bit different bead. I have a couple of these smaller ones that ended up in there. I pulled them out. That should work out a little bit better. Sometimes it's just a matter of like one bead fewer. And they match in with some other ones that we've got. So okay, there we go. Those are the light blue and crystal swirl. Oh, I was doing so good. One more to squeeze in there. There we go. Okay. And then I am going to put these triangles in one of these. I love these little triangles. The AB and the cobalt. They'll fit nicely in here. Just like that. Okay. And then we've got our little, let's do, they're different sizes, but we can do these together. All these like clear crystal ones. I'm going to put them in here. So there's another 4 done. And then we've got this one. Excuse me just a moment. Long organization videos do mean that my throat gets a little bit dry sometimes. And that's okay. Okay, I'm about to be able to get into some more of the bead mixes and finish those up. I'm just getting these guys nice and separated. I like these because I'm not trying to put just a few beads in a large well and wasting all that space. Even if it doesn't fill up a full one of these, they're still nice and separated and ready to go when I need them. Those are the little lavender lined ones. All right, I think this is our last bagged bead mix. We've still got a couple of tubes. And then 2, well, this is our last in an organza bag. We also have these 2 mixes that are bugle. It's like they're mostly bugle mixes with some other stripy bits. I want to see how everything else is fitting before I decide where to put those. So this has a little bit more of like a mix. We've got these like a matte gold colored ones. Some of them are rice beads, some of them are large, almost a pony bead shape. A few are rounds in a couple of different sizes. And then we've got several onesie twosies. I'm going to move the onesie twosies aside because I may or may not, they might just go in a thing just by themselves. And then the rest of these we can do. I'm just going to go ahead and pop these in. They tonally all go together. Purples and that gold. I think that would be nice. And then we've got a few different beads here. So we've got some red rounds. These are the red rounds up here. Making sure they're on camera. And there's not just a whole lot of those, but they are there. Okay, and then we've got these kind of an opaque, it's kind of more a muted red. They're not what I would call like a cherry red. Almost an orange red, but doesn't really read as very orangey. I'm gonna pull them up here for you just a minute. This is a very Santa colored mix right here. Various shades of red and this white. Okay, so then we've got these guys. I'm gonna put some on a dish so maybe we can get a little bit better idea of that color. Do you see what I mean? Like we've got the red ladybug right here to compare. So here's the red ladybug, and then these are a little bit more lighter toned. It's a light red, but not a pink. And I think they may take a couple of sections. Let's see how they fit as I scoop them. Sometimes they surprise me and fit better, but no, these are gonna take 2 sections. So I'm not gonna make that overly full. No reason to, you know, leave it open to popping open if we know we're gonna go into the other section. So we've got those. And then let's go ahead and do these red. These are a translucent red that are pink lined. Get these on a dish. See? And these are more what I would call a cherry red. So cherry red with a pink lining makes them glow from within when you've got them strung. Not shine, but just glow, because they're going to be lighter toned in the middle of that bead with that pink lining. Okay. And then we are making progress, guys, because then we've got these, like they're a white, kind of a creamy ivory fire polish with AB. Okay, I'm gonna leave these other stuff off to the side. Let's do our vials. Let's do the red vial first, because we were just doing other red beads. So we've got this vial, and here's the beads that are in it. Oh, just heard something come loose. There it is. Okay, so this has several different beads in it than we've already had. So it's got some kind of golden champagne toned seed beads in a couple of different sizes. There's not a whole lot of those, so I may put those together. And then it's got some red, clear, kind of a rice bead, but not a smooth rice. It's almost more like a rectangle shape. It's got the edges to it, but it's not a hard edge. It's got sides, not edges, if that makes any sense. So we've got a bunch of those. And then the other kind of bead is this elongated, oh, not that elongated. One of them looked a little elongated, but they're some smaller fire polish, kind of a taupe color with a little bit of AB on them as well. So let's get this sorted. And these are small enough that I'm busting it to the bead scoop from the start. I think it's interesting to play with vintage beads. You get older colors and finishes that maybe we don't use as much anymore. I'm not sure how I feel about the taupe. I'm not big on what I call mud colors, and taupe has always kind of fit in that category with me. Other people absolutely love earthy tones, and I'm not disparaging that in the least. I'm not sure design-wise where I would use those. So I'm thinking about it. That's kind of at the back of my head while I'm sorting these beads. It's like, oh, but how would I use these? It might be just the thing that's needed to help counter something that is more bold and vibrant, but give it a little bit of shine. Startled me. Fly. I swear I thought we were done with flies. We're not. But there's a fly in here, and it was buzzing near my light, and it just was suddenly there. So it startled me a little bit. Especially since, you know, flies sometimes also sound like bees. Not that we have much trouble with bees, but it's still like in my brain that's like, oh no, what is it? Determine. It's just a fly. The fly is annoying. All right. Again, with the red, these guys may take a couple of sections. Let's see how they go, but I'm pretty sure that they will. Oh, I've already got this open. I'm going to go ahead and do the red because we've got this one with the cream color. And we're going to do the red here in the same container as this. The taupe will go over into the next one, I think. Because I'm pretty sure these red are not all going to fit in one section. No. Close, maybe, but it would be too snug of a fit. So I'm moving some of them over here. And then we'll do these kind of golden toned ones here. I feel like they go better together in the same stick. Stick, bar, row. Although when they're in the box, they're more of a column. Because this is the way it looks in the box. Just so you know. This is where we're going with it so far. Look at all of these beads we've already sorted and put in. And also all of these beads that we've already put in the larger organizer. It's a lot of beads, friends. Okay, that means I have 9 left. 9 sections. Without doing any roommate stuff. We will see. I'm going to sort out the other tube, and then we're going to take a look at the other things that we've got. Because we still have, even after this tube with the blue and silver, we've got all of this as well. So some of this may need to stay in its containers, like these, possibly. We will see. We will see. All right. Okay, so we've got some window cut. I think these are tri-cut. Yep, some tri-cut rounds. We had some tri-cut rondelles before. These are tri-cut rounds where it's cut on 3 sides. Sorry, you probably heard the fly that time because he was on my phone. But you can see those kind of window cut. So these are tri-cut, and they're in that gorgeous slate gray or slate blue gray, storm blue. There's all kinds of different things that they call it, blue luster. I really like those. They're easily one of my favorite colors of beads, and these are going to be fun to use as spacers. We've got some silver toned seed beads as well. These guys here. Got the silver tone seed beads. I don't think I actually showed you these aside from in my hand. That way you can see the color a little bit better. I've almost managed. There we go. The fly is no longer a problem. Sorry guys, I committed murder. He was asking for it. Sorry if that's mean. I couldn't take it anymore. Okay, and then we've got these. These are, I don't remember what they're called, but they're a kind of a swirly pinched round bead. And this is a really pretty blue with what looks like is a light AB finish. They're really pretty. I like that a lot too. So that's be pretty. And then we have just a few of these small, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put them because there really is just a few of them and they're so pretty. But they've got like, they're these tiny blue rounds with like half AB. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to get it to focus, but also to show you that edge. So they have these little flashes. But there's really just a few of them. I don't want to do a whole section for them, so I'm going to set them aside for now while I get the rest of these blue beads put in a container. I think, again, this one, there are enough of these that we are going to put it in 2 separate containers. And then these ones that are like a swirly pinched bead. They're not really pinched. I don't know what they're called. If you know what the shape of this is called, it's a check glass shape. I don't remember what it's called. But those are really pretty and I like them a lot. Okay, so we have 4 remaining sections. And I've got these silver seed beads. Let's see if I have anything here that I want to combine with. These purple ones, there's room there for something to combine with them. Maybe that's where I'll put these small blue beads because I don't want them to get lost. I'm going to put them in here with these like lavender line ones. So we have these in here. And then I'm going to take out just a couple of these barrel beads and then put these silver seed beads in here. They're just going to roommate. There weren't a whole lot of the barrel beads, faceted barrels. So we've got those in there. That helps to fill up that space a little bit more. And I am going to see if I can get these bagged mixes in one remaining section. I don't know if I can because there's a lot of bugle beads in there. This almost needs to be bugle beads and then the rounds somewhere else. What else can I do? I think I have an idea. Because they're blue and they're red toned. So if we do, let's do this one. I'm just going to rip this open. And I'm not going to sort the bugles. There are different colors and I'll show them to you. Get them out of this holographic bag. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. So for the bugle beads, I don't even know if my idea is going to be enough. There's a lot of them. Okay, so we've got these like white with red stripes. Setting them off to the side. They'll find a roommate in a little bit. And then in this bugle mix, we have clear, we have like a pale pink, we have red, and they're a little bit kind of swirly, like not really uniform. Also with the different coatings, I think the red has both the gold luster and the AB, similar to what we saw in the other bead mix that we looked at. So these are the bugles. And I'm gonna see if I can fit the bugles from this mix into 2 of these sections. And we're gonna put these stripy guys elsewhere, assuming I can get this to fit. Oh, I think I will. I think I will. Okay, so that's one section with the pink and red bugles, which, by the way, is another great combination, whether you use it at Christmas or later for Valentine's. That is definitely a thing. You know what? I might. Okay. So if I can get these bugles in here, some of them, and then I can put these on the top, maybe I have my solution. Guys, I did it. So that's how I'm going to handle this. So you can easily see and access a full thing of just the bugles. You can easily see and access the stripy seed beads, but also you have the extra bugles underneath it. So I'm going to do the same thing with the blue pack. I found a solution. That makes me happy. All right. Okay. Get this out too. Move aside the stripies because we'll add them in later, and I'll show you the bugles here. Oh, we have a few little cylinder seed beads that snuck in there. A couple of lime colored cylinder seed beads. Okay. And get these guys in here. So I'll fill one up as much as possible. Oh, that's right. We were going to look at the different colors. So we've got a more of a capri blue, a periwinkle blue, a silver lined aqua, and some clear ones. This is super icy and wintry, and I love that. Very much a fan of that colorway. Okay, filling up that section, knock a few extra out so it will close. Okay, and then we'll do this section. Oh, and some of these clear ones are like the double. See if I can show you, where it's almost more of a square, but it's like double wide. So there are some of those. I don't think I saw those in the pink mix, but they are in the blue one, the clear ones in here. Oh no, this one might not have enough room for the stripy beads on top. I'm gonna have to find a place for my stripy beads because these bugles are taking that whole section. They're taking that whole section, but that's okay because I had identified when I was looking earlier that we have some room in this one here. And I'm just going to take some of those out, like I said, so I can put them in at the top and not lose sight of what all is in this box or this section. Now you can see everything that's in there. And we got everything to fit. Now, I did leave off the beads that were a little bit more on the scuffed up side that I'm not as likely to use. I also didn't make room for my onesie twosies. There was plenty of room that I needed to take for all of these other things. But we're not done because we still have this that has these 3 tubes. And I'll show you what I'm thinking of doing with all of those. So it's got these 3 tubes. This one is like a pale green and a blue. Oh, good, they twist. Instead of pop open, that's easier to manage. Pale green and kind of a cornflower blue. And these are rondelles. Nope, the green are rondelle or bicones, and the blue are rondelles. I'm not going to be separating them because I don't have room to, because I used up my other thing. This is a very narrow tube. It's so cute. But yeah, that's so cute. Such a tiny little tube. That's going to be in our benefit in just a minute. You'll see why. And then in this one we have some, looks like baby blue jade style bicones and clear crystal bicones. Seeing if this was easier to put it back on this way, but it's not. Okay. And then this one has a very sweet pale pink bicone with clear crystal rondelles. You can see those. Very nice and sparkly, and I love the sparkle. And we're going to go back to our main box to find homes for these. And here is what I'm thinking, because we've got plenty of room in this one section where the purple beads are over here. So this is our main box, and I dropped a bead. Ah, one of those. It goes in there. Okay. I'm going to be putting these, I'm just going to be laying them here in this section. I'm going to make a small modification though. I'm going to take off the loops because I don't need them. So I'm cutting off the loops. They'll just fit a little bit better. Okay. And I know I can fit 2 here. I don't know if I can fit all 3. Let me see if I can close that. I can. So that's all 3, and I can still see the purple bead underneath it. They are definitely trying to go different places, but that's okay. Let me move some of these excess beads out of the way, the ones that we're probably not keeping because they're just either there's too few or they've got flaking issues. But even without those, we've got this box. Let me open these guys. Trying to get it positioned so we can have one last look. I do not think I'm going to make something with this. We're already at an hour-and-a-half for the unboxing. I'm not going to make anything with this for this video, but like I said, I've already started to get some ideas about some possible ornaments. I am going to be gone during the week between Christmas and New Year's, and so I'm going to pre-record some things for Becky to publish during that time. I just haven't got to it yet. So you might see some slightly dated stuff, like it might be about Christmas, but after Christmas. Please forgive me. But I'm going to make some ornaments. I'm probably going to make some jewelry as well after I've had a chance to do some nickel testing. And I'll get these open without spilling all those little bugles. Okay, so now put this here. Oh, I think we need to zoom out. So not that far, not that far. All right, moving these off because they're just, all right, so we have all of these beads, and then what doesn't fit, because it just doesn't fit, is that they did give us some beading needles. They gave us some cotton wax cord. They gave us a whole beading kit as a gift. And is that it? Pretty little bow. All wrapped up with a bow. Yeah, I think that was it. So this is the Mistletoe Magic. I'm going to go ahead and move some of these a little bit so that they're easier for you to see all the fun goodness in one view. I need the light from that. It's glaring off the package. There, angle it. I'm gonna tuck something underneath it just so it angles away from the light. That's better. That's better. Merry Christmas to us with our mistletoe magic. Mistletoe magic. This has been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun organizing this. I love bead sorting, so I absolutely love getting the mixes and playing with those. One of my favorite things out of this whole thing is that, oh my gosh, it lights up. It lights up. We have to have that flashing at us for another minute. I'm sorry if it bothered you. It's fun. I love these little ornament ones. I love these triangle ones that look like a pennant when you, not a pennant, a bunting when you string them. I think those are gonna be really fun to play with. I love these crystals with the gold line. That's really pretty. And oh my gosh, guys, I love this. I'm gonna have to make something for New Year's with this because look at that sparkle. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'm sure some people are gonna do something amazing with this fantastic bezel. Since it does have a hole, I'm probably not going to do a bezel just because that's not something that is in my wheelhouse. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be in my wheelhouse. We all have different styles and different skills that we use. Definitely going to be making some ornaments. Yeah, this has a lot of really great, lot of really great things that they've given us. So links in the description below to the official unboxing on Baby Squirrel Beading. Go there for more information. I'm going to watch this now that watch hers now that I've finished unboxing mine. And the link to John Bead Friends and Family, that's the website, not johnbead.com. John Bead Friends and Family is where you can find the Curiosities box. And as I said when I filmed this, there are a few of this collection that we're showing still available. I don't know how many, just that it said in stock. However, the next box is already sold out for pre-order and there are not currently subscriptions ordered open. But that link is where you can go to check that information. If subscriptions open up, which happens when people decide to pause their subscription or whatever, then you might be able to get in there and also get a subscription. But if you don't get the subscription, check that site on the 28th of each month to see if the next box is available for pre-order. There is no cost difference between the subscription and pre-ordering the box, so you don't lose anything to that effect. The subscription is fantastic if you want to make sure that you get the box, that it isn't already all sold out. So that's the deal. It's $49.95 or $99, one of the two. I can never remember. And it does ship worldwide in that price. And so yeah, I'm excited. This is fun. I think I'm going to have fun with this. This is more of a coral color. It says it's orange, but it's more of a coral color, so that's not too bad. But I will learn how to make a new thing. So I think it's really cute that they gave us a little kit as a gift. So thank you. Thank you, John Bead, for putting together such a fun box. Thank you, Emma, for your efforts in curating this. And I'm just going to have fun with this. So as always, my friends, happy beading, and don't forget to play. Bye.